going to do, we're going to read through X Factor number 6, and this is going to be the first full appearance of Apocalypse. It's now Apocalypse is one of the major characters in the X universe, in the X-Men universe, and he made his first appearance in X Factor number 5, and that was a cameo appearance. And then he made his first full appearance in X Factor number 6. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a read through. We're going to flip through X Factor number 5, and we're going to have a read through X Factor number 6. And as far as Apocalypse is concerned, he's huge. He's on the same level when it comes to the foes of X-Men is concerned. He's on the same level as Magneto. And one of the things that I really love about Apocalypse, that really attracted me to this villain, is because he considers, even though he's a mutant, he considers himself to be above mutants. He considers himself to be the next step in the evolution of man, or in the evolution of human beings. I remember, I don't know if this was a quote that I read in one of the comic books that he appeared in. It might be in one of these two, I'm not 100% sure, or it might be in the animated series, X-Men the animated series from the early 1990s, or mid 1990s, I can't remember exactly when it came out, and that was showing. And the quote was basically when Apocalypse was fighting the X-Men, he basically turned to, I don't know if it was Magneto or Wolverine or one of the X, it might have been Xavier, where he turned to them and said he was above mutants as on a level as mutants being above ants, or something like this. So he considers himself to be far greater than what mutants are, and what the next step in the evolution of human beings, or the evolution of men, is. So that sort of, you know, explains, sort of defines Apocalypse. He considers himself to be much more than anyone else, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to have a read through his first appearance. Now, the creators of Apocalypse, the character, are Louise Simonson and Jack Guys. And when I was reading up on this, I didn't know this, but it appears like Walter Simonson, Louise Simonson's husband, had a role to play in the creation of Apocalypse as well. And for those of you who are interested in you know, what some creators have done, Louise was one of the main creators of the story arc for Death of Superman, the reading that we've done, and she had a huge role to play in that. And she's been one of the main female creators in comic books for a number of decades. Okay, and I didn't know that she was actually had a hand. She was a creator of Apocalypse. And from the background story, from what I understand, is Bob Layton was the main writer. He was a person that was brought on to start off X Factor, sort of bringing the original X-Men team together and starting off a new series called X Factor. And Bob Layton is one of the main creators of some of the early Valiant characters. I mean, he was you know, on the level of Jim Shooter, where he had a hand, he had a role to play in almost all the main characters that start off in the Valiant universe. So that was really, you know, huge thing that he did. Sort of set his mark in the comic book industry, as far as I'm concerned. And he actually was the writer for X Factor number 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And what the plan was for X Factor number 5 was there was a sort of a super villain team called the Alliance of Evil. Okay, and what Bob Layton was going to do, he was going to introduce the villain, the Owl from the Daredevil comics, to be the, you know, to be the person that's leading the Alliance of Evil, right? Sort of the mastermind behind the Alliance of Evil. But what happened was the editor at the time, God, who was it? I can't remember who the editor. Bob Harris might have been the editor of the comic book at the time. We might, you know, they might say who it is here, but he basically didn't want the Owl to be, you know, the lead villain for the Alliance of Evil, which was a, you know, great decision on his part. And he wanted sort of a new character to be introduced to the X universe, sort of a A-list character at par with Magneto. So he brought on Louis Simonson, and you know, asked her to create a new villain. And Apocalypse was the person that came along, and Jackson Guys was the artist that put the whole thing together. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to sort of let's crack open X Factor number 5, and I believe the cameo appearance appears at the back. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I took a look at these, and at the time, you know, I was buying these, and you know, I bought a few copies of X Factor number 6 and X Factor number 5. I don't know how many I got in my collection. It's not that many, you know, maybe 5, 6, 7, maximum 10, probably less. But at the time, you know, you were buying these either off the racks or in the back bins for, you know, $2 a pop, $2.50 a pop, right? And that's the way it sort of works. Characters that are introduced, they sort of become, you know, sometimes they take off right away when their first appearances, the prices spike and then they usually drop, or sometimes it takes a while for a character to filter through the whole universe, maybe Marvel, DC, Valiant, Image, whatever it is, right? And you can usually buy the first appearances of back issues at a reasonable price, or you used to be able to now. Before anyway. Right now people are chasing a lot of first appearances and stuff. And as far as first appearances in comic books goes, a lot of first appearances in comic books have cameo appearances, and then they have full appearances happening. Okay, and sometimes the cameo appearances, you know, they appear in shadow form, and then they appear in profile form, and then slowly they build it up into a first full appearance, and then they give the origins. Okay, so let's crack this open. And this is like a seriously old school bag. The board is getting stuck right there. I'm definitely going to change the bag on this, I think. There we go. And this is a really nice copy. Yeah, this is a really nice copy. This is definitely on the mint to near mint category. Okay, so let's have a, you know, just a flip through X Factor number 5 and find the cameo appearance of Apocalypse. And this is like main X characters, right? Beast, Iceman, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Angel. And Apocalypse turns Angel into one of the 4 horsemen, right? For the age, in the age of, well, we're going to see them in the age of apocalypse, the movie coming out, and the cover for this was done by Ron Friends, and they signed it down here, really small. Ryan Friends and Joe Rubinstein. Okay, beautiful cover, absolutely beautiful cover. Nice characters. So I think this is like an unread copy. I mean, look at this. It's just standing up. Here we go. And the writer for this, if you take a look at this, now Bob, this is the last issue that Bob Layton for the early X Factors worked on, right? So the writer is Bob Layton. The pencils is Jackson Geiss. I think that's the way you pronounce his name, Jackson Geiss. Joe Rubinstein did the ink for this, and Jackson Geiss did the pencils for this. Joe Rosen is the letterer. Petra Scotties is the colorist. Bob Harris, that's right, is the editor. There you go. Jim Shooter was the editor-in-chief. Take a look at that. Jim Shooter was the editor-in-chief for Marvel at the time. And again, I mentioned Jim Shooter before, but Jim Shooter had a huge role to play on, you know, turning Marvel into a profitable company in the late 70s, early 80s. So he was the editor-in-chief for a while. And then he, you know, there was, I guess, sort of bad blood between some of the people in Marvel, and he was taken off as editor-in-chief. And Bob Layton and Jim Shooter are basically the two people that sort of got together and started the Valiant universe, right? So two of the giants from Marvel Comics are the people that started Valiant and a lot of the characters for the Valiant universe in the early 1990s, which explains why they were so amazing. And the artwork for this is fantastic, eh? A lot of text, lots and lots of text. Bob Layton. Let's see. So the X-Men are in the danger room training, or the X Factor are in the danger room training. Let's take a look. Alliance of Evil, Alliance of the Alliance of Evil. The teams appearing in these pages. Scott Summers. And one thing I found out was initially they were going to try to reveal that Apocalypse was Scott and Havoc, one of the Summers brothers. I couldn't believe it when I read that in some of the history of Apocalypse, but initially they were going to reveal Apocalypse to be the third Summers brother, which I'm glad they didn't. And Apocalypse, just the history behind it, he's considered to be the first, I'm not sure if that's stock or not, but he was considered to be the first mutant. So he's like 5,000 years old. I believe like he's, you know, from 5,000 years ago. And his other name that is referred to is I don't know if I can pronounce it, En Saba Nur, En Saba Nur, and he was born in Egypt. Okay, and the name sort of translation form, I guess it means the first one. So he's considered to be the first mutant. Okay, man, this is like X Factor having to go with the Alliance of Evil, right? They're punching it out, duking it out. Who's this Dakota North? I don't know this. I think that character's name is Jack of Hearts, is it? The battle continues. Let's check it out. The battle continues as as Marvel Girl. Yeah, that's right. They refer to Marvel Girl is confronted by time shadows. Time shadows. I don't remember that. Oh, there he is. Awesome. Let's read this last page. Sweet. Look at this. He looks mean. Really, he looks mean. Is that the last page? That's definitely the last page. So this was supposed to be the owl, right? The villain that was introduced in Daredevil, I think Daredevil number 3. So what a huge change. Putting the leader of the mastermind behind the Alliance of Evil, switching it up from the owl to Apocalypse. What a great decision. Okay, so let's see what this says. Okay. A few hours later, at the chateau where it all began. Master, we have brought him back as you in silence. Frenzy, you state the obvious. Step closer, boy. You have caused me considerable grief. An addict. I had to delay my plans at not some small inconvenience to myself. So mark my words, boy. You will return to my laboratory where I shall complete my experiments on you. If you fail to cooperate, the girl dies. If you choose to escape again, the girl dies. Master, let's read that. Enough. The time is nearly at hand, and I will brook no interference. You shall soon provide all mutant kind with a source of unlimited might, a race of super mutants, and I shall lead them to war against the puny infection called man. So swears Apocalypse. Nice. The menace of Apocalypse in the next issue. So that's the first appearance of Apocalypse, first cameo appearance. So we see him in shadow form. He speaks in one panel. See him in shadow form in 2, and you know, that's pretty much a full appearance right there. As far as what he looks like, they don't show his face that well. So shadow, semi full appearance, cameo appearance, right? It's definitely more of an appearance than a lot of other cameo appearances for a lot of other characters. Okay. So that's X Factor number 5. Let's have a read through the first full appearance of Apocalypse. And X Factor number 6. Nice cover, and again the cover for this was done by Ron Friends and Joe Rubenstein. Oh my god, these tapes, they've been on here forever. And I definitely have to change the bags for these. As far as grade goes, this is a lower quality than the X Factor number 5. You can see the ripples on top, right? So this would be X Factor number 5 that we just read through. That was near mint minus. That was a great copy. Right. Near mint, that one was. This one I would probably grade as very fine plus, very fine near mint. I would say very fine plus. It's got the ripple marks there. Let's see. Yeah. It's got a little ding in the corner right there. See that? So a very fine plus as far as grade goes. And again, it's a, you know, unread copy. When you flip the page, it doesn't even hold, right? So let's take a look at this. Now this is going to be a continuation from this previous story, so we're not really, you know, hopefully they explain what's going on. And M&Ms. Let's read the fine print on this. There's like some serious fine print. X Factor Volume 1, number 6, July 1986, right? So 1986 is the first appearance of Apocalypse, published by Marvel Comics Group. James Golton, president, Stan Lee, publisher. Michael Hudson, group vice president. Milton Schiffman, vice president, production, office of publication, Park Avenue, New York. I believe Marvel just recently moved to California, or was it DC? Applications to small second class, pending New York. Published monthly, copyright 1986 by Marvel Comics Group, a division of Candace Industries Corporation. A division of Candace Industry Corporation. All rights reserves. Price is 75 cents per copy in the US, 95 cents in Canada. That's sort of the exchange rate. That was back then in the 1980s, and we're sort of back there now. It's actually, Canadian dollar is actually a little bit lower now. Subscription rate is $9 for 12 issues. Canada and foreign is $11. Printed in the US. No similarities, names, characters, institutions, living person. Similarities purely coincidental. This periodical may not be sold except by authorized dealers, and is so subject to the conditions that it shall not be sold or distributed with any of its cover or markings removed. I'm not sure why they introduced that. That was sort of something new we saw in some of the other little fine prints that we had for the other ones. This periodical may not be blah blah blah, nor in mutilated condition. All prominent characters featured in this issue and the distinctive likeliness thereof are trademarks of Marvel Comics Groups. Send address change to X Factor, Park Avenue, New York. So if you have a subscription, you can send your address change to that address, right? And this is the direct edition. If you look at the comic books from, I know from the 1980s and from the 1990s, the comics that went directly to comic book stores had this type of logo, like a comic book logo for the little box here. The ones that went to sort of chain stores like 7-Elevens and you know, non-comic book stores, they would have a barcode on there. Okay, I'm not sure when that kicked into effect. I should look into it. It'd be cool to get the first issue of the first comic book that actually had a barcode on it. That'd be interesting to find out which one it is. If anybody knows which one it is, please post a comment. But so this is sort of they consider this to be the direct comic that was shipped to the comic book stores, and the other ones are the geez, I forget what they're called. They're the indirect ones, I guess. So let's have a read through this. Let's see. San Diego, California. Tomahawk Motor Lodge, I guess. Color TV, air conditioning, X-rated movies. So I guess this is where in the previous issue in X Factor number 5, Alliance of Evil and X Factor had a fight. Hey Sergeant Gorelli. Yeah, Simsky, what's your problem? That pile of rubble's my problem. That limo pulls up and them guys in uniforms stalk into my hotel, and I know I got trouble. How come San Diego's finest lets mutants smash up honest men's property? That's the guy who owns it, right? Honest Joe Simsky? Huh? That's a new one. Last time somebody trashed your Roach Motel, you didn't want cops anywhere near. How come you called us in on this one? Show him that ad from the paper, Ruby. These are the guys from the limo, Sergeant. X Factor. Mutant investigation. Resolution. No need to be fearful. Longer call skilled on experts. You can read the ad on the paper, right? There was an explosion, see, and sounds of a whopping fight, and then the mutants crashed out. Probably killed those X Factor guys. Blasted vigilante bounty hunters. Somebody's got to stop the muties, and some of them might still be in there. I pay taxes and I'm entitled to protection like everybody else. So go on, Gorelli, get in there and protect me. Look at that. Cyclops. So there's the credits. Bob McLeod is the inker for this. So this one's Louis Simonson. Jackson Geis is the penciler. Bob McLeod, McLeod, I guess, inker. Joe Rosen is the letterer. Petra Scotti is the colorist. Bob Harris is the editor, and Jim Shooter is the editor-in-chief. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Great guys, just swell. Cyclops is freaking out as usual. Cool it, Cyclops. X Factor handled that fight like a bunch of amateurs. Let the Alliance walk all over us. And walk out with Mike Nolan, and that blasted little junkie helped them. This little splash page. Iceman shifts to his human form. The beast had talked Mike down, hadn't you, Hank? Certainly. He was ready to give up the drugs, allow us to teach him to control his powers without them. But the Alliance kidnapped his girlfriend, Scott. Mike didn't want to help them. He didn't have a choice. Mike loves her, Scott. How could he just abandon her? No one who loves anyone could do that. Yeah, well, sometimes a man has to make hard choices, and that little junkie creep chose. He helped the Alliance trash us, but good. They shouldn't have been able to sneak up on us. We shouldn't have had we should have had warning. You blame me for that, don't you? Because I'm only me now. Oh, this is Jean Grey. She's now Marvel Girl, so she lost the Phoenix ability, right? And not Phoenix. I'll just be nobody. I'll just bet nobody ever got the drop on Phoenix. Is that it, Scott? Don't you understand? That energy monster buried me in a cocoon, stole my life with you and the X-Men. And now that I'm awake again, everything has changed. Professor Xavier is gone. His X-Men are being led by our most vicious enemy. That would be Magneto. And I'm not a telepath anymore. I've tried to tell myself that I have other powers, that it doesn't matter, but it does. She's throwing the mattress at Scott. Nails it. I could read people's feelings, their thoughts, and now it's like I'm in a jar with the lid screwed on tight. She's crying. You've changed. You act like you hate me. You're keeping things from me, but I don't know what, and I don't know why. Jeannie, stop, listen. That's Angel. It's not you, it's Scott. I've tried to be understanding, but with all she's been through, with all she was to you, doesn't she deserve to know the truth? The truth? As if you would understand. I can't remember what the truth is. But then it was your idea to form X Factor, wasn't it? To pretend to be mutant hunters, to use those stupid ads to locate mutants, then teach them to control their powers so they're no longer a menace in society that hates and fears them. So Angel came up with the idea of putting the ads together, it looks like, yeah. Oh my god, these advertisements. Whenever I saw these advertisements, I used to look to see what you could buy for what price, right? Look at this. X-Men number 96 for $24.50. What else is there? Wolverine number 1 to 4. This would have been Frank Miller's Wolverine. I think it's Frank Miller. Jeez, if I remember serves right. For $3. Web of Spider-Man number 1 to 15. 99 cents. Thundercats. Punisher number 1 for $5. What else is there? Secret Wars. Check this out. Secret Wars 1 and 2 for $2. 3 to 12, and Secret Wars 1 to 9 for 99¢. Just imagine if you bought a whole bunch of Secret Wars number 8s for 99¢. And G.I. Joe, check this out. G.I. Joe, the first series for this, the prices are very expensive. I can't believe number 2 at that time was selling for $40. Wow, that's huge, right? I think it's number 21. And when I read the comics, there was someone that commented, I forget what it's the silent issue, the G.I. Joe silent issue. I still have to pick up and read, where there's no text, it's just imagery. I think it's G.I. Joe number 21. I got it added to my list, so whoever recommended that, thank you. I've been tracking G.I. Joes. I've been meaning to get some, but their prices are expensive. What are the prices? Anyway, Daredevils. There's Frank Miller Daredevils here, right? That's cool. Some good buys on this page, yeah. Wow, the best buy would have been the Secret Wars. Again, the first symbiote Venom. Okay, let's check it out. Let's continue. Hold on, where were we? Scott's throwing a temper tantrum, I guess. Let's continue. Let's read the last thing Scott says. Then teach them to control their powers so they're no longer a menace. No longer menace a society that hates and fears them. He's just paranoia. Those same X Factor ads are fueling. Look at him, he's just using his visor. Scott, it's not just me. It was Professor Xavier's dream, our dream. The X-Men can't carry it anymore. It's up to us. Holy Hannah, look at this, he shoots at that angel. Holy Hannah, do you see that? Angel flies out. It's one of them, mutants, muties, like in those ads. He's moving too fast. I'm just getting a blur. This person's videotaping it. See, I told you, Gorelli, he's coming for us. He killed those X Factor guys. He'll kill us all. Plug him. Blam, blam. Point taken about this point taken about the ad, Scott, but this is a rotten place to discuss it. X Factor doesn't need more trouble. They know X Factor came in here. Blast. We can't afford to be connected with them. Bobby, ram an ice ladder through the backside of the roof. We're getting out of here. What about the damage we caused? Iceman asks. Let's check it out. Not to mention the mess that melting ice will make. No problem, man. Oh, he takes a wad of cash. Angel's like super rich, right? Takes a wad of cash. Dad had to take care of it. Throws it in. Of all the show-off Playboy stunts, listen up, Scott. It's not like the place is in great shape to begin with. I really think this landlord would rather have the cash. And if my financial situation worries you, I'll get X Factor to reimburse me. Right, Genie? Haha, right. Genie and Iceman. The policeman's inching towards the door, or what remains of it. Considering how scared of us they are, that cop is one brave dude. Come on, Marvel Girl, lure away. Let's get out of here. So the X Factor idea needs a little fine-tuning, Scott. At least we got away. No one was hurt. So what's the problem? We'll find the Alliance, get Mike back, and... Are you kidding? This has been a fiasco from beginning to end. We came to Mike as X Factor, Warren. And our first confrontation, he ripped away our X Factor guys. That junkie knows who we are. What's to keep him from telling the Alliance or the world? Nearby. The boss really hates it that we left those mutants at the motel, Mikey. He thinks there's like something the way they keep showing up, and he wants us to find out what it is. We observed the mutant hunters entering the motel, but found you fraternizing with these strange mutants inside. Who are they, Addict? What's their connection with X Factor? Connection? No connection, Frenzy. You got to believe me. You got me now. Please, please, let Susie go. She tried to help me kick the habit, straighten out my life. She believed in me. I'm not worth what it's done to her. I'm not. I don't dispute that, Addict. Your lover has escaped permanent injury so far, but she is in danger, Michael, unless you cooperate. But I don't know anything. They just wanted to help me. Please. I need a fix. Got to have whack. Kicks him. You're a two-time loser, little man, a mutant junkie. You ought to have no problem betraying your new pals. You did once already, didn't you? Now, who are they? Who are they? All right, Tower, I'll tell. They're just mutants, like us. They've band together to fight mutant hunters like X Factor. They drove them off. That's all. Now, please, please. Like, there's more to it, for sure, and you got to tell us. It's a coincidence that they showed up when we tried to nab you. Yes, a coincidence, please. Time Shadow, the drugs, I need them. I hurt. No drugs for you, Mikey, till we know what you know. Maybe, maybe none even then. Heroin blocks your ability to increase our power, and we don't want it blocked. Yeah, junkie, we're addicted to you, and when our powers are upped, they're all the better to hurt you with. Like, the boss won't let us break him, Tower. But he don't care what happens to the human. Maybe if we beat on her some more, Mikey'll talk. Good thinking, Stinger. No, you'll kill her, you monsters. Don't hurt her. Dream on, junkie. Wake up, broad. It's party time. Like, one of my stingers ought to zap her awake. Awake, but good. No, stop. Leave her alone. Oh, he's freaking out. The drugs wore off. His power's going out of control. He zaps Stinger. She's got more power than she can handle. She's gotta let her energy loose. All that energy explodes in there. While not too far away, I'd gotten through to Mike Scott. We'd made a breakthrough, I'm certain of it. He only aided the alliance for love of the girl, his sense of honor. He's a junkie, Hank. He has no honor. He'll say or do anything for anyone who supplies his next fix. The plan is to rescue Mike Scott, not place him on trial. Though how we'll locate him? An explosion. Where? I don't see anything. That's Iceman saying where? Angel saw it. You don't have my eagle eyes, pal. It looks like trouble to me. Think I'll check it out. Angel's taken off. Angel's changed too, hasn't he, Bobby? Somehow he seems to fly higher than he did before. Several miles away. Keep feeding us that power, junkie. We're eat it up, eat it up, eat it up, and hey, I'm growing. I can't stop. And Stinger's bolts. She ain't got control of him either. Time shadow, time phase ahead of him. Stop her. I'm on my way, Tower. Mikey's power is giving me a natural high that I'm stuck. I can't phase back into sync with our time. I slam ahead, then back, then somebody stop him. He's juicing him up too high. Here comes Apocalypse. You weakling can't deal with this, but I can. Your power makes me more invulnerable than ever and much stronger. Strong enough to do, you will do nothing. Apocalypse says. You appear to have forgotten my order, Frenzy, and much as I dislike it, you force me to repeat myself. Michael is not to be damaged. Whatever you did to cause this display will cease immediately. Even I have underestimated the strength of his power and his usefulness. Place him in the monitor machine. He must be quieted at once. Oh, nice. But that will block his power. Why should I be weakened while this addict? Because I have commanded it, Frenzy. Kneel before your master and know that if he chose it, Apocalypse could destroy you. Whack. Just nails her. For I control my body, rearrange and restructure its molecules as it suits me. Your strength, your invulnerability are nothing compared to the power Apocalypse can summon. Be grateful that the centuries have taught me not to waste what might prove useful. The order that preserves Michael's life keeps you alive as well. But do not balk me again, Frenzy, for even Apocalypse's patience has its limits. The drug within the monitor render Michael unconscious. Even now, his power surge begins to fade. I will return to my laboratory below to test him further. Flawed though you are, Alliance, know that Apocalypse is pleased with you, for in your rush to destroy, you further my goal. Mutant must fight mutant if the weak are to be weaned from the strong. And when only the strong are left, Apocalypse will make his move. Pray, all of you, that you are among the strong. And with the whirl of machinery, Apocalypse's platform returns to his laboratory below. That evening, as I flew over Stinger's blast blew out the roof over there. I didn't see him, but Mikey's inside somewhere, I know it. So let's go get him back. It's not like we have a choice. That junkie knows who we are. So they came to Apocalypse's lair. Angel, you and Jean reconnoiter through the hole in the roof. Beast, check the windows. Iceman and I will wait for you here. Ready, Matahar. Ready, Mataharj. I don't know what that is. Whenever you are, 007. It's really nice up here, isn't it, Scott? It reminds me of Alaska in the summer, where Maddie and I and the baby lived. Scott, keeping your marriage a secret from Jean is tearing her apart. And you, have you called Maddie? There's no answer, Bobby. I think she's left me. Part of me wants to find her, explain about Jean's resurrection, why I had to go to her, make her forgive me, let me come home. But Jean's back in my life now, high on X Factor's promise, eager to rescue a lovesick junkie loser, flying in Warren's arms, talking to him, laughing, and part of me wants to punch their hearts out. I think I must be going mad. So Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, just for those who don't know, just really quickly, she got cocooned, sort of her identity was stolen by the Phoenix, which is basically one of the most strongest forces in the universe, and Phoenix pretended to be Jean Grey for a long time, right? And they thought Jean Grey had died when the Phoenix was taken out. The Phoenix saga, and I guess Scott Summers got involved with someone else, I can't remember. And then Jean came back from the cocoon, right? So, and Jean and Scott used to be lovers. That's just a quick little rundown of what this drama is about. Scott, Mike's a junkie, a loser, but he sacrificed himself for the woman he loved, while I can't decide who I love, so I'm sacrificing them instead. Maybe we're the losers. We're sure not Professor X. How can we expect to do anything but train losers? Scott Summers is depressing. While up above, what a mess. I'll telekinetically clear a good size hole. Then away we'll go. Warren, earlier you said, with all I was to Scott, what did you mean, was? While I was asleep in that cocoon, Scott fell in love with the Phoenix, didn't he? I'm just a pale reflection of her, and it's eating at him till the very sight of me sickens him. That's it. That must be it. Angel's thinking. It's a thought balloon. So here's your chance. She deserves to know about Scott's marriage, and you want to tell her. More than you've wanted anything in a long time, and yet, why the sudden passion for truth, pal? Or is your passion for something else? So he was still thinking. Jean, you're selling yourself way short, and you've got it all wrong. It isn't Phoenix. That's real romantic. Someone says from the background. But this ain't the time for it, for sure. The alliance. Stinger's smart mouth warned me in time to deflect her blast warn, but next time there might be no warning. We'd be fried. wonder, Scott, Mrs. Phoenix. No wonder he finds me so useless. While down below, the beast checks out the window. That's a laboratory inside. I'm certain of it. And it sounds like someone's sobbing. Cyclops. In here, I believe I found Psych. He's calling Cyclops. There they are. They're way in the background down there. There's Cyclops, there's Iceman. And I guess in the house is where Jean, well, Marvel Girl and Angel are fighting the Alliance, right? Well, it looks as though the action started. I'd best rush to their aid. And since the intruder alarms have already sounded, this seems as fast a route as any. Crash. And one that will reveal some things of interest along the way. Mike. Oh, the girl. No, keep away from us. Haven't you heard us enough? Hush. No, I'm a friend. I've come to rescue you both. Beast, it's okay. Susie, he's a friend. Give me a moment to unravel the complexities of that machine, Mike. I'll have you free in No, don't. You're wasting time. Take Susie and leave. Hurry. This machine, it monitors my blood, supplies me with heroin, then blocks my ability to absorb it when I need it. Go. I'm not worth saving. Here comes Apocalypse. You underrate yourself, Michael. As a mutant, you outvalue any human alive. Your attachment to the girl does you little credit, Michael. It weakens you. Apocalypse. Perhaps the time has come to remove that weakness so that you can be made strong. You and what army? Yo. His arms, they've become hammers, stretching in front of me so fast. Defeat by a Apocalypse is no shame, mutant. Boom, he nails Beast. So Apocalypse is changing his shape, right? Form. For against Apocalypse, even the strong must fall. $50 comics for $4.95. Meanwhile, Iceman's slide skims over the rim of the blasted roof, and here's where I get off, Iceman. Thanks for the ride. Cyclops jumps in. Frenzy, more of them. Stop them, fools. Stinger and I will take care of the girl. Your wish is my command, Frenzy. Now I'm here. And now I'm there. Catch me if you can. throws him over his shoulder, nails Frenzy. Marvel Girl, Frenzy's behind you, watch out. Silly boy, you tried this trick before. Iceman freezes him. Punches through with the same appalling lack of success. This time I will grind you into a snow cone for your impotence. Not bad, Marvel Girl, but not so marvelous either. Oh, it's being nailed. My bolts can't get in, but you can't get out. You're no help to nobody. Tower, grab that winged angel. He can't be that fast, and I'll show her what I mean for sure. Suddenly, through the floor, Apocalypse's platform rises. As I surmised, we have arrived in the midst of a battle. Excellent. The monitor now blocks the drugs from their blood, Michael. You are free to use your power in my service. Do so now. No, I won't. I can't control it. What have they done to you to make you want to destroy them? It's Michael. He's got the beast and Mike and his girl. Increase the power of the alliance and do it properly, Michael. You can control your power if you concentrate, or the girl dies. Mike, no, don't do it, please. I have to, Beast. Don't you see? Apocalypse wants to kill her, but he has to keep her alive to control me. I'm the only thing keeping her alive. Attaboy, Junkie, lay that power on us. Like, this is living, and you fools will soon be dead. We were a match for them before, but with the added power, I can barely hold my own. That's Angel thinking right there. No. Jean throws a table or something at the guy's face. No, I can't stand it. Got to get away. The girl's running. Run. Hide. Oh, she gets blasted. Susie, no. Look at Apocalypse in the background. Oh, jeez. The Junkie's gone hyper again. He's zapping us all. Can't regulate the power of my eye beams. Oh, Cyclops been getting the juice as well. Ice spreading across the floor. Can't control it. Got to block the girl. She might still be alive. And a hopped up blast could incinerate her. The energy, blinding, spraying off my force shield like fire. If only I've grown strong. If only I've grown strong enough to withstand it. It's Jean Grey thinking. power spraying around her in the same shape of a giant bird, blinding. Don't the others notice? Don't they understand? Oh, it's the phoenix. Enough, enough. I increased their power. Susie's dead because of me. All I ever brought is pain and sorrow. Got to stop it. Call back the power. End destruction now. Michael, no. This is Apocalypse talking. No. Michael, no. You'll die. Your brain can't hold the energy. Must set the monitor. Must reset the monitor. Oh. Oh, classic cover. Regain control of him. That's Apocalypse. Psych, destroy the machine. It's blocking the effect of the heroin in Mike's system. When Mike can feel its effects, this display will cease. Hurry, he's killing himself trying to stop it. That might be for the best, and yet what right have I to judge anyone? Cyclops thinking. Fool, you'll destroy the work of centuries. Just watch me. Cyclops is really good at destroying things. Come on, Mike. Let's get out of here. The party's over. Excellent. You have done well. Your assistance has been invaluable. I will find you again when I require your aid in winnowing out the weak. Oh, I guess he's referring to Mike. Our aid? What the heck are you talking about? No, he's talking to Cyclops. This bub, we're back at square one, eh? Our power's against yours. Guess which side's gonna win? Our side, finally. Far out, you wrap me in your force field box. Force field boxed me in. That's good. Use your bolts now, Stinger. Zap yourself for a change. Tower, what are you waiting for? Attack them. How? I can't find them in this blizzard. There's a girl sort of silhouette in the background right there, right? So Iceman's covered in a blizzard. For now, you are the strong, but heed me well. It wasn't the drugs, but Michael's weakness for a human that destroyed him. A similar weakness could destroy you all. And now, I bid you adieu. Do not try to find me. A search would prove fruitless. So many and varied are my guises. Hey, the boss cut out. Let's split. Hey, we can't let him off that easy. We should turn these bums over to X Factor. But no, they're still mutants like us. We can't turn them over to our greatest enemies, no matter what. Hey, look, mutants, nab them. The cops are coming. What's that stuff on the house? Ice, like at the motel. These got to be the muties who hold up there. What's with you, Angel? Are you nuts? Just taking out some insurance that the Alliance knows we aren't X Factor. Ah, that's what he was doing. He was trying to figure out what was going on. They guessed there was a connection, but I never told, no matter what. I knew that, Mike. We all knew. Didn't we, Scott? Susie's dead, isn't she? I knew they'd kill her. I'd kill her. It was an accident, Mike. You can't blame yourself. No. Poor guy. I'll take you to our headquarters, create a drug to enable to control your power. Drugs aren't the answer, Beast. I was a junkie before. I was a mutant. I couldn't even take normal life. It's better this way for me, but what you're doing is good. It's good. There are others who deserve your help. Help them. There's our answer, Scott. Maybe we're not Professor X. Probably will never be as good. But Xavier's gone, and we're all they have left. I guess things have happened to everybody. I guess rotten things happen to everybody. Maybe it doesn't really matter what happens. It's how we handle them. That's the measure of our worth. Looking at Susie and Mike and how he handled it, it makes my problem seem pretty small. Come on, Jean. We'd better go. The police won't mill around out there forever. Scott's thinking. Didn't the others see Jean in the fight? Didn't they understand? There was flames around her, bird-shaped, but the Phoenix effect. Phoenix is dead. I saw her die, but then we thought Jean was dead too. Is it possible? Can Phoenix have survived? Can Jean and Phoenix really be one? The drama of X-Men. Next, Fallouts. That's cool. The last 3 panels of Apocalypse. Fist raised in the air. Exchanges. If you love adventure, Star Comics. You should be reading Star Comics. I guess that was one of the... I don't know who Star Comics is. I think this Marvel Comics groups. Oh, I guess this is just Marvel Comics groups. Care Bears. These are the Care Bears. Remember the Care Bears? Power Pack. Cool. And that's the first full appearance of Apocalypse. Okay, looking forward to the movie, that's for sure. Very excited about the movie. Hopefully it turns out okay. Hopefully they do Apocalypse well. Seems some still images of what Apocalypse looks like. Hopefully with the CG they make it look a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.